This is your ultimate guide to the beautiful island of Palawan, including El Nido, Coron, and the beautiful islands of Balabac. Palawan has been rated one of the most beautiful islands in the entire world, and you'll soon see why from this video. If you don't know me, then I'm John. I've been to Palawan twice now and spent over 6 weeks in this beautiful province of the Philippines. Now let's begin with the route, and there is 2 ways you can go, either from north to south or south to north. I recommend starting from the north in Coron and flying into the airport of Basanga. There are frequent flights from Manila and Cebu, so Coron is not actually attached to the main island of Palawan, but it is a beautiful island and is one of my favourite places in the whole of the Philippines. Now the best thing to do in Coron are the boat tours, and the 2 I recommend are Tour A and Tour B. And the must visit spots in Coron are the Twin Lagoon, Kayagan Lake and Barracuda Lake. These spots are spectacular and the clarity of the water will literally blow you away. Kayagan Lake is my favourite, which is actually a freshwater lake and is beautifully clear and is great fun swimming under the water. Tours start from 1,000 pesos, and I'll leave a link in the description to one of the tours. There's also a skeleton wreck where you can see an old World War II shipwreck, and if you're into shipwrecks you can actually scuba dive with them, and there's a great dive tour around Coron as there's some beautiful spots to explore. We didn't have time to do this, but we would love to go at another point. A popular thing to do in the evening is to go up to Mount Tapas for sunset. The expansive views are absolutely beautiful, and there's over 700 steps to get up here, so you get very hot, but trust me, the views are worth it. There's a Hollywood style sign and you can walk along and escape the crowds. Another popular thing to do is go to the hot springs. It's a beautiful spot and only costs 150 pesos and is not far from Coron town. If you've got a big budget, then I recommend staying at Pauline Houseboat, which is the only place to stay on Coron Island itself. But they're actually floating on water and it's an amazing experience. The house grids are completely off grid and you're just swimming in this water surrounded by these huge cliffs. If it's in your budget, then I couldn't recommend this enough. There's other activities you can do in Coron like jet skiing and water sports, and I'll leave a link in the description to them. We visited Cabo Beach, and if I'm honest, it's nothing special and would only go if you've got spare time. The boat tours are where the good stuff is. In total, I'd recommend 3 or 4 days in Coron, and once you've finished, it's time to head to the next spot, El Nido. To get to El Nido, you take a ferry, which is now very expensive at $48 US and takes about 3.5 hours. Alternatively, you can take a Coron to El Nido expedition over 3 days and visit very remote islands in the region. I haven't done it myself, but people who have done it have said it's an absolutely amazing experience. Moving on to El Nido, which is probably the most famous place in Palawan, but there's also so much to do here. If you've been to the PP Islands in Thailand, it kind of gives me those kind of vibes. And again, the main thing to do in El Nido are the boat tours, the most popular ones being Tour A and Tour C. These are the must-do tours. Doing other tours like Tour B and Tour D will be a lot less crowded, so if they are available, I do recommend giving them a go to escape the crowds. The best spots in Tour A are the Big Lagoon and the 7 Commandos Beach. This tour costs about 1,200 pesos. On Tour C, the Secret Beach is awesome, and after you've done a couple of tours, you'll start to feel like you've seen a lot of the area. Tour C costs about 1,400 pesos. The tours we did were with Friends Hostel, but the tour company is actually called Happy Life, and I think they are the best tours in the whole of El Nido. You know exactly what you're getting and the staff are amazing, and they even include an incredible buffet meal on the beach. Now, one of the things you have to do in El Nido is head up to Nakpan Beach, which is a beach which stretches over 4 kilometers. The best way to get to Nakpan Beach is probably by scooter, which costs 500 pesos a day. And you can go to other beaches and different spots around El Nido too. Another great thing to do is head to Las Cabanas Beach for sunset. It's a perfect way to end the day and it is absolutely beautiful. Now, if you're after quite a unique experience just 1 hour away from El Nido town, then you should try the Isla Island experience. This place is like an island escape. We spent 2 nights here and it was so relaxing and I totally recommend it. You stay in these beach huts right next to the sea and it's a great place to relax, and there's even a shipwreck you can swim to just off the shore. There's also a chance of seeing turtles here. We didn't see them, but people before us did. Now, where to stay in El Nido town itself? We actually stayed at Friends Hostel and it was absolutely amazing. It's the only place in town which has a rooftop pool. And if you're looking for a good sunset spot, this is the place to be. There's also a bar which is open every day, and they also do amazing pasta nights, pizza nights, and taco nights. This hostel is a really popular hostel and one of the best hostels I've ever stayed in. The dorm rooms are amazing, but the private rooms sell out really quickly. So if you're looking to go here, make sure you book well well in advance. Another great activity you can do is renting kayaks. You can do this from Coron Beach, which is just the other side of the big hill in El Nido, and you can rent them from 600 pesos for a full day. In the kayaks, you can actually go to beaches which the big boat tours don't go to, so that's a reason in itself to get kayaks to escape the crowds. Another really unique thing we did in El Nido was stay a night in a yacht. And I know this sounds crazy, but you can actually do it in El Nido on Coron Beach, and it only costs 85 USD a night. We were also very lucky that we were invited on El Nido Yachting Club tour, where we toured the islands and went to a private beach with no other tourists on them. Obviously, this is a lot more expensive going on a boat tour on a yacht rather than the other boat tours like Tour A, Tour B. So if you've got the money and you've got a big budget, then this is something you've got to do because you can escape the crowds. Now, once you're done in El Nido, it's time to head further south, and you can either go to Port Barton or right down to Puerto Princesa. You can do this with minibuses, which you get from Coron bus terminal. I'll leave a link in the description to book the minibus. Now, I haven't been to Port Barton myself, but I've heard some really nice things. You can go on a boat tour there, and apparently it's amazing for sunsets. It's a really chilled out, relaxing place, so if you want some peace and quiet, it's a good place to head to. Now, if not, head further south to Puerto Princesa. The big thing to do in Puerto Princesa is take a tour to the famous subterranean underground river, which I think is the second longest underground river in the entire world, and is actually one of the new 7 wonders of the world. If you want to go on this tour, I'll leave a link in the description. But now from Puerto Princesa, we're gonna head to one of my favorite spots in the entire Philippines and even the entire world, because it is not that touristy yet, but trust me, it's gonna be. And this place is Balabac. Balabac is beautiful, and it's kind of like the Maldives, but without all the tourists. It is amazing, and I can't recommend doing it enough. We went on a tour with @Balabac Palawan on Instagram, and if you've got any questions, go to the website, which will be linked down below, or message them on Instagram. We booked a 3-night, 4-day tour and visited some tropical islands, sandbars, and saw a whole lot of turtles. We actually went on a private tour, but there's also group tours which are a bit cheaper too. On the tour, you will be on a boat, and it can get pretty choppy, so make sure you bring raincoats because it can get pretty crazy out on the waters. Now, the places you go to on the tour, the first one and probably the best place is Arnock Island. This place is literally the most tropical, beautiful island I have ever been to. Another spot we went to was a sandbar, and another sandbar which actually had starfish around it, and it was so cool seeing the starfish up close. Now let's talk about the not so fun stuff, and that Balabac is not that developed, and so where you're staying is not going to be luxury.
So this is our beach teepee.
We stayed in these beach teepees, were actually really cool, and obviously there's a simple toilet and a bucket shower, but honestly it is worth that, and we would do it 1,000 times again because it really is that beautiful. Now, they're actually building some big resorts and hotels which are pretty swanky, but hopefully they don't destroy it. Get there soon to miss the crowds and before this place absolutely blows up. You can book the Balabac tour with transportation, so you can be picked up from the airport or from your hotel, and then you don't have to get a minibus yourself. And once you're in Puerto Princesa, you can fly to another part of the Philippines, or you can fly to Manila and back home. Guys, that is my ultimate guide on Palawan. If you've got any questions, please leave them down below and I'll do my best to answer them. And if you don't already, follow me on Instagram because I've got some amazing photos of Palawan and all my travels on there. Please like the video if you found it helpful. It means so much. Thank you so much. See you in the next video. See you later. Bye.